Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. I hope you're having a good day, night, evening, afternoon, however, whenever you are seeing this, I hope you're doing good. Today guys, I'm going to give you the ins and outs of my last course of the year, my Conversations with Your Inner Child course. So this is going to be my last course of the year. This is a 5-week program. You guys know that I love teaching. I've done tarot classes. I've done intuitive courses. I've done solo tarot classes. I've worked with groups. I just love, I've even done workshops where I partnered with other spiritual practitioners and all kinds of stuff. And I love teaching. I love classes. I love making a syllabus for a class. I love a good curriculum. I literally low-key thought I was going to be a teacher growing up because I love lesson plans and teaching and doing all of that. I literally love that. So after my intuitive course, I wanted to do one more course of the year. And I know that I wanted the course to be I wanted this course to be low-key the most meaningful course that I've done. So what can be more meaningful than inner child work? And I'm going to go through the curriculum with you guys and let y'all know everything that we're getting into. I'm not going to share this on Instagram or anywhere else. This is going to be the only place where people can get the full curriculum. So y'all are going to get all of the tea about everything we're going to get into. And also I wanted to just let you guys know the importance of connecting with your inner child. I think me going through this curriculum is going to be kind of educational in itself, just me talking about this, and then you can decide if you want to get into it. But first things first, connecting with your inner child is so important, because our inner child does not get to be peacefully put to rest. Because after we are a child, we're a teenager. We are not an adult immediately. We are a teenager. And the moment of being a teenager is very tumultuous. You are feeling so many different things. Your body is changing biologically, chemically, physically, everything. You're becoming a different person. Your brain is changing. There's so many things that happen when we are in that space. A lot of times our childhood wounds are reawakened in moments when we're teens, because let's be real, whatever happens, and I have my notes here, of course, with the curriculum, but whatever happens to you, you're going to be triggered by that stuff just in life as life goes on. So by the time you're a teenager, if you've dealt with childhood trauma, and most of us have, then all of that trauma probably has triggered you several times. So now you're in a space where you don't know how to feel, you don't know how to act. You have all of this pain and all of this grief and all of this shame and all of this guilt and all of this frustration about the things that you felt in your past, why you can't be confident, why you're afraid all the time, why you're anxious all the time, why you are super hyper aware of everything that you do and everybody around you. There's so many questions that we have in those years that don't get addressed. So of course we're going to be touching on inner teen stuff too, but your inner child is so important, because your inner child is who you enter this world as. You enter this world as a child. When you come from your spiritual realm, the first stop is your childhood, which is so significant in itself. Like the fact that you have to redo your childhood first, I think is super significant. Life could be any way that life wanted to be. We could start as adults and then go back to children and die as children. If that's how the world was, that wouldn't be that crazy. How it is now is just how it is, because that's just what it is, but life could be any way. So the fact that the possibilities are endless, and we are children first, we are innocent first, we are vulnerable first, we are our most impressionable first, we are that person first before we get to be anything else. And in your childhood lies your innocence, lies your faith, lies your hope, lies your connection to God, lies how you feel about love, about friendship, about trust, about lies, about betrayal. You learn all of that in your childhood. You learn what love is. You learn what friendship looks like. You learn how people treat each other who say, I love you. You learn what that feels like. That's why some people think that abuse is love. That's why some people think that, a tumultuous relationship is love. All of those things go back to our childhood. If you had parents that used to make you lie for each other, if you saw parents lying all the time and you knew they were lying, if you had parents that were addicts of any kind or had unhealthy addictions, whether it was gambling or alcohol, and you always saw them, in spaces where they were disheveled, if you saw your parents struggle a lot, whatever the case may be, everything that you see and experience in your childhood lays in your subconscious. And because it's the first thing you are on this planet, it is your foundation of your subconscious. So all of your insecurities come from your childhood. All of your fears come from your childhood. And if they didn't, it wouldn't be a fear for you. It wouldn't be an insecurity for you. Something that someone did or said when you started to care about being beautiful and feeling beautiful reminded you of something in your childhood. It reminded you of a core memory. It brought you back to a point that you have long since left behind, and now you are reliving that, and now that strikes a chord with you that's on a totally different level. So your inner child is all of, again, the vulnerable parts of you, your faith, your connection to God, that lies in your inner child. Typically, you're very hopeful as a child. You know, when you're a child, anybody tells you something, you believe it. You know, you're very hopeful. You're always optimistic. You always think that things are going to be good. Even if you're in a bad environment, you want things to be good. You want things to work out. You know, you strive for that. You long for that. I feel our true desires lie in our childhood as well. Some people say when you're looking for your purpose in this life, you want to start at the things that you really liked in your childhood, and that can lead you to what your purpose is supposed to be. I definitely agree with that. And you know, there's a lot of different things that get lost, even our imagination, which is directly connected to our ability to manifest, and our creativity, which is literally something that's a do or die as an adult. So many adults are miserable. If you're an adult and your inner child is dead, then that's why you're miserable. That's why you're on a job and you can't see your way out and you can't see anything past that, because your inner child is dead. Your imagination, your creativity is gone. And that gets stolen from us if we have babies too young, if we are sexually assaulted, if we have to raise our very, very young children, if we see our parents doing things that we know they do not need to do, if we have to raise our parents, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of things that can happen that can take that energy away from you before you're able to grow out of it. Sometimes moments of grief or moments of trauma can take it away from you. But whatever the case may be, if you are not a child for as long as you need to be a child, and who knows how long that should be. Sometimes it's till you're 25, till you're 20, however. But now, of course, we know everything is written before we come here. But if your childhood is cut short when you are, I would say maybe before like 21, to be honest, if your childhood was cut short, if you had to jump into responsibility, if you had to jump into survival mode at any time before that big chunk of time, when you are still very, 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 very impressionable, when you're still growing, because when you are coming out of your teenage years, you have to kind of find your legs again. It's like you're learning to walk all over again. You are by no means an adult when you're 18 or 21. And if you're 18 and 21, you think you're grown, I'm letting you know right now, you're not grown. I'm 28 and I'm still not grown. I don't think that you really grown for real until, I don't know, probably until you die. You know, you might always feel like you're just learning. And I hear so many people say that. People who are 60 and 80 say find new stuff to do. Like you can always learn, you can always grow. So you're never grown. You'll never get the I'm grown, I'm secure feeling ever. Unless you break out of fucking capitalism and all this trauma and you heal. And it's so many things that we have to do on this planet to feel secure in where we are. And a lot of that, if not all of that, starts in our childhood. And once you understand what that is, where it comes from, what's affecting you specifically, what past is affecting you and how it's affecting certain parts of your life right now, you're able to get the help that you need today and do the work that you need, because you can heal your inner child today. You can be who you needed back then today. You can teach yourself and reparent yourself. We're going to be talking about reparenting too. You can do all of that today. So needless to say, connecting with your inner child is very, 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 very important, but it is heavy work. It is emotional work. It could even be traumatic work for some of us. So the way I set up this curriculum was so we have a little bit of everything. We have some light work. We have a little bit of dark work. We have stuff that's going to be fun. We have stuff that's going to challenge us. But it's all going to be really, really transformational. So before we get into the curriculum, let me just talk about the pricing and how I'm doing pricing differently. So typically I have one set price. You buy a ticket, you get in. This time you have to fill out an application. I'll go over your application with you and I'll send you an email letting you know what I feel you're working on and how I feel it's going to be benefited by what we're doing in the course. So in the application, you have the opportunity to let me know how you want to connect with your inner child. Why do you feel this is a good time for you to take the course? Just some different questions so I can kind of see what you're looking at, how much time you're willing to put into this, and you know where your head is at. I definitely want my courses overall to just be more meaningful, and I want to be a little more selective with my admission process. So there is an application, and the only way I'll probably tell you to reapply or fill the application out again is if you literally give me like one word answers that I can't do anything with. But other than that, I'll be able to get something from, the things that you give me. If you want to be long-winded, then do it. I've been reading everything. I'm going to read what you send me. So yeah, if you guys are interested, then you can fill out an application, and once you do that, I'll basically let you know what pricing scale I recommend for you. So there's 3 options. The first one is $100. You can pay that in 2 payments of $50. And what that $100 is the guide for the 5-week program. So I give you a guide of the curriculum. You have like some inner child, tips. And maybe, also you have like a 7-day activity guide. So you have another little guide. So it's basically a PDF file that you'll get whenever you purchase your ticket. And that basically will guide you through the course. So you'll get access to it. So the smallest package that you can get, the smallest price that you can pay, the least amount that you can pay and get this experience is $100 or 2 payments of $50. So that's the first one. And again, you'll get the curriculum, and you'll also get, like a little page of some activities and some different information. And then of course you'll get a 7-day activity guide that you can use. So that's the first tier. For the second tier, that's $150, or you could do 2 payments of $75. So the second one, that's $150. You get the 5-week curriculum in your guide, a 31-day activity guide, and you also get a journaling guide that is very, very in-depth. I have about 5 or 6 journal prompts if you want to write a couple of pages, if you want to write a paragraph, a sentence, from the shortest amount of journaling to the biggest amount of journaling where you're writing several pages. There's several journal prompts for each of those. So a really in-depth journaling guide for your inner child, the 31-day activity guide, and of course the regular curriculum comes for $150. So if you wanted to, have the course and have an extended guide with more activities and more work to help you as you move forward, then you can do the $150. The last one is $250. And this tier includes everything that the second one does. So you get the extended guide, and you also get a reading with me before and after the course. So, and of course for the $250, you can do 2 payments of $125. So you'll do a reading with me before, where we'll talk about your goals, what you need to do. We'll connect with your inner child, figure out what your inner child needs from this course, how you should prepare, whatever the case may be. Then we'll have the course. And then after the course, we'll meet again and have another session about how you should be moving forward and all of those things. So there are 3 tiers, and I wanted everybody to have the option. Now I'm going to recommend which one is, I recommend for you, because I'll let you guys tell me how much you're willing to invest. So I'll let you guys know what I recommend, but I send you a full rundown of the pricing with your response email, so you'll know all of that information. And whatever you want to do is up to you. If I recommend the first one and you end up, coming into some change and you want to do tier number 3, you can do whatever you want. They're all available to all of you guys, but I'll let you know which one I recommend for how much time you have to spend on the activities and also how much money you're willing to invest. But I wanted everybody to just be in charge of your investment. Most of my courses are around $100 anyway, so that's why I just did a base of $100 that goes up depending on what you're willing to invest and the work that you're willing to do and put into this. So yeah, I think that's going to be really great, just to kind of give you guys a little more control of what we're going to be working on. But let's go ahead and get into the curriculum. So really quickly, I'm going to just run through everything so you guys can have an idea about it. And if you guys have any questions, you can leave them down below. Of course, we're going to be doing weekly Zoom sessions, and the sessions are going to be recorded. We're also going to have a group chat as well with all of the students while we're in this. But the first week, we're going to be reintroducing our inner child, getting realigned with your inner child, plan a rebirth celebration, and a conversation visualization meditation. You guys know I'm the alliteration queen. So reintroducing your inner child, we'll basically just get reacquainted with our inner child, start super baseline, then work on getting realigned with your inner child. So figuring out who that person is, what they need, what their thinking process is like, and figuring out how we can get reconnected with that energy. Then planning a rebirth celebration. So this is basically a birthday for your inner child, essentially, a way for you to honor your inner child. And this could be something you do annually, biannually, once a month, whatever you want to do. But just, something light, an opportunity for you to reconnect with your inner child and figure out something specifically that you can do to kind of celebrate the beginning of this journey, and hopefully something you can do moving forward. And then a conversation visualization meditation. So this is going to be connecting with your inner child visualizing yourself as your inner child and walking yourself through a meditation, getting answers, connecting, making it make sense. I think that's going to be super, super powerful. And I think starting the first week with that is going to be great. And again, this course is called Conversations with Your Inner Child. So the whole point is to ask the right questions and really understand how to connect with your inner child, of course. So yeah, week 2, elements of your inner child. So we're going to be talking about the healthy and unhealthy characteristics. Like I said, there are some great things that you can pull from your inner child, and there's also some trauma response things, some bad habits that we're pulling from our inner child. So we're going to talk about the great things and the not so great things that are elements of our inner child. And of course, if we're going to be doing activities, whatever we work on in class is definitely going to be an opportunity for you guys to work on more. So of course, we're going to be talking about plenty of characteristics, but you guys also want to be asking yourself these questions too. Long-term effects. So we're going to be talking about how these things affect you long-term, and a 3-step plan to basically heal and, accept every part of your inner child trauma, essentially. So we're going to be doing that. That's going to be great for us to just kind of heal in the long run, and also rediscovering your magic. So this week we're going to talk about, all of the traits of our inner child, the good and the not so good. And then we're going to be talking about healing the not so good and uplifting the good. So rediscovering your magic, this is going to be connecting with how you manifest, how you create, of course, tailoring specifically to your inner child energy and getting back into that. A lot of us who have manifestation issues is because we have issues with our inner child, issues with creativity. So getting into that for sure. For week 3, we're going to be addressing our angry inner teen. So we're going to be starting with our inner teen self. I just recently saw also on Instagram, I was watching something that said, when you are coming out of your teenage years, you're experiencing a death that you weren't prepared for, the death of your inner child. And you aren't prepared for that. You don't know how to navigate that. So we have all of these feelings of, fear and insecurity that starts to come up because our bodies are changing and our imaginative self is getting smaller and smaller. And we're starting to think that that part of ourself was lame and weird and awkward, and we cringe thinking about that part of ourself. When in reality, we should think about our inner child with such pride. I've always felt really uncomfortable, thinking about my inner child and just feeling like I was just so awkward. But you have to really embrace that energy, because that is you, and that person is still a part of you. And you have to embrace why you were awkward, why you felt like you didn't fit in, and really make that make sense versus just bringing it all down on yourself and becoming your own bully. Some of us are our own bullies. So addressing your angry inner teen. If I really need to spin this chair around for this one, we're also going to be talking about maternal generational wounds. I could do a whole YouTube video just on maternal generational wounds, a whole YouTube video. So if you are a woman, when you are in the womb, you are basically born with all of the eggs that you will have, which means that when your mama was in her mama and your mom was forming in her mom's belly, you were an egg in your mother who was a fetus in your grandmother. So whatever your grandmother was experiencing in that pregnancy, you are being formed inside of your mother's womb in your grandmother's stomach. All of that was happening. So we carry a lot of stuff from that, needless to say. And I actually added maternal generational wounds maybe like 2 weeks after I finished the curriculum. So I know that's going to be popping. So we're definitely going to be talking about healing that, stepping into that. Also in this week, we're going to be talking about all the conversations, the important questions to ask. So I'm going to give you guys a long list of questions that you can ask your inner child. And then we also have inner child expectation. So connecting with your most elevated child. That's basically my term for your inner child higher self, the most elevated child version of you. So basically having expectation for your inner child, because your inner child is still a child. Like, you're going to have tantrums. Like, I don't know if y'all are Twilight people. I hope everybody here loves Twilight, because I love Twilight. So if you don't, then just know that about me. I love Twilight. So y'all know the newborn vampires. If you turn a newborn baby into a vampire, it's going to be insanely volatile because it has no training, right? Like, you can't train a newborn baby, and a newborn vampire that's strong and bloodthirsty and insane is just going to be crazy. So you have to think of your inner child as the same. Like, your inner child is going to be getting stronger and more powerful. So what does that mean? If you had a temper problem as your inner child, when you start feeding your inner child more and more, that anger might also get stronger. If you have certain bad habits that were dealing with your inner child, the stronger that gets, the harder your inner child might fall when you have a bad day or something. So you really have to make sure you monitor that expectation. So we're going to be getting into that. And lastly, we have 2 more weeks. So week 4, guys, reevaluating your goals. So just thinking about your goals, figuring out how to make them work for your inner child. Realistic plan for future inner child care. So we'll be making a plan for taking care of your inner child for the future. And also an inner child elevation exercise. So an exercise that we can do to elevate our inner child. I think that's going to be super great. And then lastly, week 5, identifying triggers in the future. So we're going to be making a plan to just talk about how to identify triggers in the future and just heal your inner child on a regular basis as those things are triggered, identifying them, dealing with it, moving forward. An overview of the inner child survival guide. So the inner child survival guide is included in everybody's guidebook, whether you get the tier 1 or the 3rd tier. And this is essentially just information about your inner child, things to remember, and a list of activities that you can do for your inner child. And also we're going to wrap up giving a love exercise to our inner child, doing some love work with our inner child. And then we're going to, of course, have a final Q&A. So yeah, guys, that's all of the tea that you can expect in the inner child course. I mean, needless to say, this is the thickest curriculum I've ever had. I'm super excited about this. And I think this is really going to be my most beneficial course. Like, I think I'm going to start the year with a tarot course like I usually do, like in the spring. So like May, June-ish. And then in the year with this every year. And then maybe in the middle, do something different. But I'm super excited about this. I think this is going to be great. I've already gotten some great applications. And yeah, if you guys are interested, like I said, you can fill out an application. And it's free to apply. I don't know if I need to make that known, but whenever you apply, I'll send you all of the information for payment and stuff for you to move forward how you want to. But yeah, again, I think inner child work is very important. I was called to do this course for you guys. And also during this process, I was connecting with my own inner child and, doing a lot of work on my inner child as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed putting this together. Again, connecting with your inner child and healing that energy is super important and super powerful. It really helps you unlock your power. And one of my goals, just in general, for anyone that watches my platform or learns from me, is to be self-sufficient in your healing journey. And a big part of that is being able to console yourself and knowing what's wrong with you. Knowing where the problem is coming from, knowing where the issue is coming from. And I think connecting with your inner child is a great place to start. So yeah, guys, last course of the year, conversations with your inner child. I hope you guys enjoyed this rundown and this little spiel about some things to be mindful of with your inner child. All of the pieces and moving parts of inner child work. And yeah, of course, with all of my courses, everything is recorded and you keep your guide and stuff for forever. All of your notes are for forever. So I definitely think this is something great to revisit every year on your own, or just, whenever you feel called to do so. But yeah, this course is going to be starting in October and the application deadline is September 24th. The payment deadline, I believe, is October 3rd. So if you're interested, you'll have until October 3rd for payments and everything, and until September 24th to apply. Do not wait that long to apply. If you know this is something you want to do, go ahead and apply so you can get the email, so you can have time to sit with it, figure out how you want to get into it, whatever the case may be. And if you want to wait that long, that's fine. But why wait when you can apply now, get the info now, put it in your brain now, meditate on it now, pray about it now, and, figure out how it's going to work for you. And just doing the application will get you thinking about some things. So yeah, guys, I love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys are going to be thinking about some things moving forward in regards to your inner child because of this. But yeah, I appreciate y'all and I thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Check the link in the description box to do your application, book with me, connect with me, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I love y'all and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys. Bless.